Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. A historic moment for India as UNESCO adds the festival of Diwali to its intangible cultural heritage list. After Microsoft, now e-commerce giant Amazon bets big on AI in India, pledges $35 billion by 2030. Russian bombers join Chinese air patrol near Japan as Tokyo-Beijing ties strains. And in cricket, India's Rohit Sharma retains top spot. Virat Kohli rises to number 2 in ODI rankings. E-commerce giant Amazon plans to make a mega investment of $35 billion in India by 2030. The investment would cover its businesses with a focus on AI-driven digitization, export growth and job creation. Amazon's investment plan is 2 times that of Microsoft's investment of $17.5 billion and close to 2.3 times that of Google's $15 billion investment plan by 2030. Amazon's senior VP for emerging markets said that the company has set a target to quadruple exports from India and create an additional 1 million direct, indirect, induced and seasonal jobs by 2030.
We see India as one of our largest long-term opportunities. Since we started our first development center in India back in 2003 and later launched Amazon.in in 2013, we have come a long way. Today, we have enabled nearly 43 million cubic feet of fulfillment space along with a pan-India logistics and supply chain to empower 1.7 million small businesses to offer the largest selection to customers, making Amazon India's Apni Dukaan. We have brought blockbuster entertainment to every corner of the country with Prime Video and MX Player.
On Tuesday, Microsoft had announced a $17.5 billion investment in India over the next 4 years to advance the country's cloud, AI infrastructure, skilling, and ongoing operations. This is its largest investment in Asia. One of the key priorities of Microsoft's investment is building secure, sovereign-ready hyperscale infrastructure to enable AI adoption in India. And Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella addressed a company event in New Delhi on Wednesday. He reaffirmed the company's commitment to India's AI goals, including plans to upskill 20 million Indians by 2030 and support over 300 million platform and gig workers. He said that the winners of the global AI race will be defined not by who creates new technologies, but by who adopts them the fastest. His comments came a day after Microsoft announced a $17.5 billion investment plan in India.
Which countries, which companies, which communities got ahead were not people who created the leading tech. Were really people who adopted the leading tech the fastest to create more leading tech, right? That's kind of the definition of it.
Yeah.
Because if you start just using, first of all, if you don't have the leading tech in the country, then that's a problem. But if you even had leading tech in the country, but you just talked about it or just consumed it, but didn't use it to create other leading tech, you then further fall behind.
Communications Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia met Lauren Dreyer, Vice President of Starlink Business Operations on Wednesday to discuss about satellite-powered digital connectivity across India. The minister highlighted that satellite communication technology will play a pivotal role in advancing Prime Minister Modi's vision of a digitally empowered India. The minister reiterated that as India drives forward its digital transformation, Starlink can complement national efforts to bridge the digital divide. The Indian Festival of Lights, Deepavali, has been inscribed on UNESCO's list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity, prompting widespread celebration and pride across the country. The announcement was made at the 20th session of the UNESCO Intergovernmental Committee for Intangible Cultural Heritage in New Delhi. It's the 16th Indian element on the list. Chants of Vande Mataram and Bharat Mata Ki Jai rent the air as UNESCO announced that the Deepavali festival has been added to the coveted list. Culture Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat called it a proud moment for every Indian.
Today is a day of glowing pride for India and a moment of gentle radiance for the entire world. Deepavali, our beloved festival of lights, has been inscribed on the UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. This is a deeply emotional moment. Deepavali is not just celebrated, it is felt, lived, absorbed across generations. It is the soft, steady assurance that light will remain, that dharma will prevail, that hope will rise again.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the announcement on X. He wrote, and I quote, "People in India and around the world are thrilled. For us, Deepavali is very closely linked to our culture and ethos. It is the soul of our civilization. It personifies illumination and righteousness. The addition of Deepavali to the UNESCO Intangible Heritage List will contribute to the festival's global popularity even further." Unquote. May the ideals of Prabhu Sri Ram keep guiding us for eternity, he added. It's a proud moment indeed for India as Deepavali is added to UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And DD India Siddharth Bharadwaj caught up with the Culture Secretary, who highlighted the significance of this moment and spoke about how the world is now realizing India's soft power.
Very special day today for the entire Bharat as Deepavali, a festival which is widely celebrated across the country, is now added, inscribed in UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And to talk more on this, I have with me the Secretary of Ministry of Culture, Government of India, Mr. Vivek Agarwal. Hi sir, a very warm welcome to DD India. How significant is the day today?
Thank you so much. It's a great day for Bharat because the most celebrated festival of India, Diwali, has been recognized as a festival which has a universal value for humanity, and it has been now recognized in the representative list of UNESCO. It will also now spread the message of Diwali to the entire world because Diwali, as everybody knows, is a festival of victory of good over evil. It's a festival of lights which brings illumination to the lives of everybody. So this message will spread across the world.
Sir, this is the 16th element, India's 16th element that has been added to this list. Previously there were Durga Puja, Garba, Mahakumbh, Ramleela. So what do you have to say about India's rich cultural heritage?
So India has now arrived. It is our time where the world is realizing the importance of the soft power of Bharat. The cultural assets and the cultural traditions of India are spreading across the world, including, as you mentioned, the 15 elements which have already been transcribed, which have been inscribed as elements which have huge value for the humanity, for preservation, for spreading the message. We are also looking at multinational nominations. There are a lot of intangible cultural heritage elements which have spread from India to the other parts of the world, including Southeast Asia, Arabic world, through our maritime connections, through our connections of spirituality and the message of peace that has moved out of India. And under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister and under his guidance, we are hoping to spread the message of Bharat across the world.
This is indeed a very, very special day for the entire country, as Diwali has been inscribed in UNESCO's list of representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Siddharth Bharadwaj, DD India.
Moving on, President Draupadi Murmu addressed a National Human Rights Day celebration in New Delhi on Wednesday. The event brought together government officials, diplomats, civil society members, human rights defenders and others. Human Rights Day, being celebrated since 1950, commemorates the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights by the UN General Assembly in 1948. The day is observed annually on 10th December. President Murmu said that Human Rights Day is an occasion to remind us that the universal human rights are inalienable and they form the bedrock of a just, equitable and compassionate society.
India embraced the Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a co-creator of a universal moral covenant which resonated deeply with our civilizational ethos. Our ancient value of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means that the world is one family, is reflected in the idea of universal human rights. It is only of that India's sustained commitment to the human rights principles has been recognized globally. It is evidenced by our unopposed election to the United Nations Human Rights Council for a 3-year term, commencing in 2026 for the 7th time.
Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said that India is moving towards a free trade agreement with the European Union and the United States.
यूरोपियन यूनियन के मंत्री मारोस शर्कोविच और उनकी पूरी टीम भारत में थी। बड़े विस्तार से हमारी चर्चाएं हुई। वो जयशंकर जी और निर्मला जी को भी मिले और एक फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट की मोटा रूपरेखा तैयार हो गई है। यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका की टीम मंगलवार से भारत में है और उनके साथ बातचीत निरंतर प्रगति कर रही है।
Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri met U.S. Deputy Trade Representative Rick Switzer in New Delhi on Wednesday. The two sides reviewed economic and technology partnership, discussed ongoing trade negotiations and explored ways to enhance two-way commerce and build more resilient supply chains. And still to come on DD India Live. Ukraine to present a revised peace plan to President Trump's government on Wednesday. And Nobel Peace Prize ceremony takes place in Oslo.
This week on Defense Dynamics, India's battlefield gets a boost with new indigenous unmanned ground vehicles for mine warfare and frontline support. In geopolitics, we decode Asia's most volatile triangle, China, Japan and Taiwan, and why it matters now more than ever. We also ask the central question, shaping Asia's future. What does China really want? And in My Take, we look at Asim Munir's elevation as Pakistan's Chief of Defense Forces and his regional fallout. Catch it all on Defense Dynamics this Wednesday at 8 PM IST only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I am Ramesh Ramachandran. Ukraine is to present a revised peace plan to President Trump's government on Wednesday after weeks of negotiations which have failed to produce an agreement. In an audio message, President Zelensky said that a revised peace plan now contained 20 points, though there was still no agreement on Russia's demand that Ukraine surrender occupied territory, which has become the major sticking point in negotiations. He says that new components of the deal hashed out with the British, French and German leaders in London on Monday are ready for US review. The comments came after meeting with European and NATO leaders.
We are talking to the Americans, and we are already talking to the Europeans, and I am very glad that we have involved our European partners. There are 3 documents. The first document is 20 points. It is constantly changing. This is normal. It is a living structure that should be of interest of Ukraine, Europe, and the world. The second document is security guarantees. We are working on it. I am waiting for the appropriate proposal from our military and from their dialogue with the American. And all this need to be combined with the principle of collision of the willing.
And President Zelensky also said that he was ready for elections, calling on US and European partners to help ensure security for the Pole during the conflict, adding that if security is guaranteed, an election could be held in the next 60 to 90 days.
I am ready for the election. Moreover, I ask now, and I declared it openly, the United States of America to help me, including together with European colleagues, ensure security for the election. And then, the next 60 to 90 days, Ukraine will be ready to hold the election. And I personally have the will and readiness for this. Next, since this is the case, I ask the deputies of the parties in principle or MPs to prepare the legislative proposal on the possibility of changing the legislative basis and the law on election during the martial law. I'll be in the Ukraine tomorrow. I expect proposal from my partners. I expect proposal from our deputies, and I am ready to go to the elections.
In a tragic incident in Indonesia's capital, Jakarta, at least 22 people are confirmed dead after a fire broke out at the Terra Drone office building. The flames were extinguished hours later and the area has now been cordoned off. According to preliminary reports, the fire is believed to have started on the first floor, possibly caused by a drone battery that caught fire and exploded in a storage and testing area, and the fire quickly spread to the 6th floor of the building. Authorities are currently conducting a thorough investigation to determine the exact cause of the fire. British Finance Minister Rachel Reeves on Wednesday criticized the unacceptable number of leaks from her autumn budget. Key budget details, including tax plans, growth forecasts and policy changes, were reported about an hour before she delivered the statement in Parliament. The minister told a parliamentary committee that she was frustrated by the incident and also vowed to tighten procedures to prevent future leaks. The India-Malaysia joint military exercise Harimau Shakti has advanced into its high-intensity training phase, showcasing complex tactical maneuvers and heli-borne insertion drills. This stage is focused on sharpening interoperability and operational synergy between the two armed forces. Troops engaged with counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism concepts, followed by a detailed lecture-cum-demonstration on patrolling techniques. The module also featured discussions aimed at enhancing decision-making and cohesion during dynamic battlefield scenarios. Ambush theory sessions and practical demonstrations strengthen small team offensive skills, while a structured command post exercise reinforced tactical planning and battlefield management. The exercise highlights the growing defense cooperation between India and Malaysia as well as mutual trust. Bridge Summit, billed as the world's largest debut media event, wrapped up in Abu Dhabi after a power-packed 3-day run. The summit drew 60,000 participants from 132 countries, bringing together the biggest names across media, the creator economy, music, gaming, technology and visual storytelling. With over 400 speakers and 300 exhibitors, the event rolled out an extensive workshop program featuring 430 experts, leading hands-on sessions for creatives, entrepreneurs, CEOs and emerging talent. India's presence was strongly felt with actor-producer Priyanka Chopra, film and OTT producer Monisha Advani, and many tech firms including Brahma AI showcasing the country's growing global footprint.
We did the opening ceremony 2 days ago where we created the digital version of His Excellency Sheikh Abdullah. That digital version spoke in multiple languages, and we therefore helped break down the barriers of language and culture and help communicate the message of His Excellency to the world. We are also powering Ramayana, a movie being made by Namit Malhotra and Prime Focus Studios with the biggest star cast in India, backed by crew globally, including music by Hans Zimmer and A.R. Rahman, as well as visual effects by DNAC. Using Brahma, what we are going to do is to take a truly Indian story being made at a scale never before and apply our technology to allow for that performance to travel across cultures and languages.
And now to news from the world of sport. India's cricket stalwarts dominated the top of the latest ICC ODI batter rankings, with the iconic Ro-Ko duo of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli sealing the top spots. Kohli has secured the second spot while Rohit Sharma remains at the top. Kohli hasn't held the #1 position since April 2021, but the right-hander is closing in on the top spot once again following his superb performance. The 37-year-old was adjudged player of the series for scoring 302 runs in the three-match ODI series against South Africa. Sharma amassed 146 runs across the series to hold on to his spot at the top of the rankings. His consistent batting performances of 57, 14 and 75 in the three-match series helped him firmly retain his top spot. Sharma and Kohli weren't the only Indian players to make significant gains on the updated rankings, as KL Rahul also made notable progress. The wicket-keeper batter rose 2 places to 12th overall, while left-arm spinner Kuldeep Yadav, up 3 spots to 3rd, was the big winner on the list for bowlers. The Indian Olympic Association and the Italian National Olympic Committee on Wednesday signed a landmark memorandum of understanding in New Delhi to enhance bilateral cooperation in sports. The agreement established a structured framework for the joint promotion of sports, exchange of expertise, and the mutual extension of access to each other's elite sporting infrastructure and high-performance centers for athletes, coaches, and sports science professionals. The signing ceremony was attended by Sports Minister Mansukh Mandavia and Italy's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani. A mouth-watering clash awaits the Spanish capital as Real Madrid hosts European giants Manchester City in the UEFA Champions League group stage encounter. City travelled to the Madrid on the back of a comfortable 3-0 win over visitors Sunderland in the Premier League, while Real suffered a disheartening 2-0 home loss to Celta Vigo. 2 points separate the teams in the Champions League standings, with Real 5th on 12 points after 4 wins and a loss, while City sit 9th on 10 points with 3 victories, a draw and a loss to their name. Wednesday's clash will be the 13th meeting between the clubs in the past decade, a rivalry that has intensified as Real and City combine to claim 3 of the last 4 Champions League titles. Real won the competition in 2022 and 24, beating City en route to both titles, while the English side lifted their maiden Champions League trophy in 2023 after overcoming the Spanish club in the semi-finals that year. And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. You can get the latest news on the DD India mobile app, which is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code that's now on the screen to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.